You were here, I think, last time or the time before, and you had talked a little bit about relationships and some of the 7 Essene mirrors. And
Yes.
as if you thought Gregg wouldn't be even more knowledgeable than you are, you have some interesting knowledge when it comes to relationships. And I just wondered if we could talk about like what those are.
Sure, I'm happy to talk about. You asked me a question. What would you like? What would you like me to say about relationships?
Because I think from what I remember you telling me last time is that if we look at things that are missing in our lives or people that we pull into our lives, we can try to analyze why they're there and if they are there to fill gaps or not, and really evaluate, because I think most people don't understand why they attract certain people in their lives. And you've heard the person say, I keep having the same boyfriend or girlfriend. It's a different person, but it's the same
Different
person.
city, different job, same person. Yeah.
Right. And maybe you can talk about that.
Yeah. So Brian, for our viewers that maybe weren't with us last time, my personal history was the driver to understand these things. I can say now I do come from, it's a very dysfunctional, abusive, alcoholic family. I'm a survivor of childhood trauma. And I had to learn very early on what that meant to me, because I made a choice early on not to be defined by my past. I have a younger brother who made a different choice and is suffering in the world today because everything that happens to him, he says, is because of what happened to him when he was younger. And he's absolutely correct. It can be, and it doesn't have to be. My feeling is, and where I look at this maybe a little differently, I believe there's a continuity in human consciousness and human history. And I believe those who have come before us left us information in their time. If we have the wisdom to recognize and the courage to embrace and the strength to live what they left for us, that we can benefit from those who have come before us, whether it was a generation or whether it was 5,000 years ago. So I've been a student of history all of my life, and I recognized early on that there were certain groups of people. There was a mysterious sect, for example, called the Essenes. 500 years before the time of Jesus. They did not call themselves Essenes. The Egyptians actually called them therapeutae, which means healers. Not only did they understand physical healing, they understood emotional and psychological healing. And the Essenes identified a series of mirrors, 7 mirrors, that every human will experience in their lifetime if they live among other people. 7 mirrors of relationship. The first ones are very obvious, and they become more and more and more subtle. And you have to recognize the obvious ones before you get into the more subtle ones. And what you're referring to is the third mirror, the third Essene mirror of relationship. It is the mirror of what we have lost, given away, or had taken from us by those who have power over us. So the way that particular mirror works is we've all had these experiences if we're honest with ourselves. We can be at a place in our lives where we're perfectly content with a partner or a relationship, or no partner or no relationship. And someone, you can walk down the aisle at the grocery store, or you can interact with someone in the office place, and all of a sudden there's that little, something lights up inside, and you find yourself drawn to this person, magnetically drawn. And your mind will say, well, I shouldn't be, or this isn't right, and that doesn't change the chemistry that's there. We all know that experience. The question is, why is it happening? If we don't know why it's happening, then we can be led through this mysterious experience to lose everything that we love and cherish, perfectly good relationships and families and kids and all of that, in search of what it is this magnet means to us, because it's such a powerful compulsion. The Essene mirror, number 3, tells us what this is. Each of us, to survive wherever we are in our lives today, we all have given away parts of ourselves. Sometimes we do it consciously. Coming from an alcoholic family, as a peacemaker, I would consciously relinquish my choices, my ideas, just to keep peace in the family. Sometimes it happens subconsciously.